Hello, and welcome back to the Sacred Siren's Cove. Tonight I want you to hold my hand as I guide you into the secluded and mysterious alchemical lab of our existence. Life is always at work on multiple levels and dimensions that we are both conscious and unconscious of. Often, our conscious understanding is merely a tip of the iceberg in comparison to the depths of our personal and collective unconscious. When approaching discovery through alchemy, we must keep in mind, I quote, "Everything matters. Every ingredient, every little instance is an opportunity to witness divinity in the material," end quote, as expressed by the artist Kim Krans, who created the Wild Unknown card series. Through the Alchemy deck and guidebook, we will take a look at what tools and forces are present at work in your personal lab at this moment. Due to the secretive nature of the alchemical works, please remember the language used is disguised through metaphor. Keep an open mind for how these metaphors are mirrored in your lab. Pay close attention to any feelings, memories, or repetitive ideas that emerge during the reading. These will serve as the keys to the gateway of higher truths. Make an effort not to judge yourself for what is brought to light within, and embrace the dualities of human existence. We come to feel the broad range of emotions from bliss to anger to apathy. Try to acknowledge these feelings instead of suppressing them, but also let them pass and release when they no longer serve you. Accept the wholeness and the beauty and the sacredness that is within and around you, as this will allow you ultimate fulfillment. The work is never complete, as we are all transmuting and learning, including myself, so please forgive me if I make any mistakes as I attempt to convey this mystical language. Most importantly, have fun, let it get a little messy as we tinker in the lab. And with that being said, let's get into our groups. Hi Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So I've already flipped over your cards and kind of taken in the energy of what you're working with in your lab right now. Already I can tell this is probably going to be a heavier, I want to say, process that you're going through at this moment. But before I say any more, let's just go over your cards. So you guys got the Herkimer Diamond as your crystal card, representing your overall energy. So if you don't know already, a Herkimer Diamond is not an actual diamond, but it is a quartz that is a little bit more distinguished from regular quartz because it's more hard. It's as attainable as other quartz, unlike the diamond, but it's very hard and it's very alluring and magnetic. So that's why it's a little bit more special than regular quartz. And with this energy, I'm getting that you guys are very strong in your spiritual energy. There's something very sacred that you hold within you that I'm getting must be protected at all costs. So I feel like whatever you guys are going through in the lab right now is deeply personal, and also very private. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that. You know, it's something that is very difficult to process, you know, given the hardness of a Herkimer diamond. But at the end of it, you will reach a new level of clarity within. And also here on the card it says power wash your energy. So at the end of this process, your energy, your sacred, beautiful energy will feel lighter. It will feel cleaner, and it'll feel more like you. For whatever reason, since I've started reading, it just has felt so hot. Like I'm literally sweating right now. So another message I got for you guys is that you really have your work cut out for you at this time. I'm seeing somebody like rolling up their sleeves and getting sweaty and just using a lot of physical strength. But let's get into the alchemical elements that you're working with at this time. So I'm going to be doing what's called a Tria Prima reading, which is talked about in this book here. So basically this reading will look into the 3 gifts from the goddesses that are brought to the lab. So card 1 will be the gift of origin, and then card 2 will be the gift of the antidote. This card is what makes or breaks the lab, and then the 3rd will be the gift of sustenance. So this is kind of what's helping the process carry on, and I guess the main procedure in the lab at the moment. So I think for you guys it will be helpful if I actually read from the book the descriptions for each card. So for the first gift, you guys have iron, and you can see with this card and with the blood card, there's a lot of red, hot, fiery energy within you guys right now. And I think that's why I'm definitely feeling the heat that you guys are experiencing. Yeah, so I'm gonna read the description for this card for you guys. Alrighty, so I'm gonna put it here too in case you guys want to read it or take a screenshot. So it says, magnetism, reliability, Mars. Iron is a reliable metal that can withstand great pressure. Over the centuries, we have come to utilize this metal extensively, mixing it with carbon to create the steel bridges, highways, and infrastructures that span across the globe. In alchemy, iron is associated with the planet Mars and shares its qualities of being strong, assertive, and potentially warlike. When the iron card appears, there is a call to rely on only the reliable. What truly supports you? What have you already built? Iron dwells at the center of the earth, so when all else feels lost, go inward. There is a deep magnet there that pulls you towards what is steady and true. For the moment, put your words and weapons down, and let yourself be held by the structure that is already in place. Alrighty, so if you guys want to read the extra notes on the page, you're free to go back or look at that screenshot. But yeah, so the first element is iron, and I think that's why I'm feeling this heaviness, and the energy of sweat, because iron is a very hard substance. It's very difficult to work with, but at the same time, it's going to be what supports us. It's going to be what gets us through. It's going to be what gets us across to the other side of this process. Alrighty, so now I'm going to read the blood card for you guys. Alrighty, so the pulse, physicality, the body. Have no fear of the blood card. It indicates a remembrance of the vital mammalian nature of our existence. Drop by drop, the sacred elixir reminds us that we are alive, not merely thinking beings, but being beings. When the blood is the prima materia in the lab, the alchemist uses the physical body as a starting point, building a relationship to the container that houses the spirit. Through the limbs, the organs, the cells, we witness the miracle of life, one heartbeat at a time. Eventually, the alchemist naturally partakes in practices that support and nourish blood's life-giving nature. We learn to honor and protect it. In alchemy, red is the color of vitality and radiance. With this card, you've dropped into the vital realm. Sing the body praises. So it says, take note of how much red is within the reading. This indicates the vigor present in the querent's world. If the palette is dull, it's likely the spirit needs support. The blood card brings vitality to an entire reading. When it is present, it is as if all other cards come alive and begin to grow. Okay, finally I'm going to read the separation card. Okay, so separation, differentiation. Oh my god. I don't know why I can't say this word. Okay, you guys can read it. Divide to cut away. Separation is a great alchemical operation of the sword. It occurs when substances are pulled apart for their higher good, either willingly or unwillingly. The fissure may take place suddenly with a swift blow of the axe, or slowly over time with a dull blade. No matter how separation occurs, it will likely be a painful process for all involved. Images of swords, knives, battles, rebellion, breakups, divorce, and atom splitting are expressions of separation. The good news is that separation prepares the individual for a more conscious union down the line. It releases stagnant energy and allows the parts to see themselves as individuals. This stage is a prerequisite for conjunctio, union, love. Through the pain of separation, we come to accept and love ourselves as we truly are, and in turn, we love the world. Yeah, so with that being said, I wanted to read you guys the cards because I feel like that'll provide a lot more context for the energies that I'm picking up. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of your reading, this is a very heavy energy, and it looks like some of you either have gone through the separation process already, or, you know, like iron is found in the center of the earth, and if we look at that as a metaphor for the body, it calls us to look within and our core. And I'm getting, if you guys haven't already gone through the separation process, there's something in your core, in your gut, telling you that this is something that is already occurring. Like it was mentioned in this card, we have a choice, right? We can either use a sharp sword and just get it over with, or we can use a dull blade to get through it. And I'm kind of picturing somebody like with their sleeves rolled up, they're sweating, and I'm picturing like an old style saw going through a big chunk of iron. So, you know, this is all symbolism, this is all metaphor. So I feel like you guys have the choice right now when it comes to your work, and it's, do you want to use a dull blade to cut through this block of iron, or are you going to use the most effective tool to get through it? With the blood, you know, and the iron, I feel like there is a big call to look at the body, to get in touch with the body. These two elements go hand in hand. We cannot be healthy humans if our iron is out of balance. And I'm, you know, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor or anything, but, you know, we can all research and get professional medical advice on the particulars. But again, this is a metaphor for balance within and union. I see that you guys already, you know, I feel like the strongest element in your lab at the moment is your spiritual strength. It's your mental strength. I see that you guys are very, very powerful, strong individuals, and right now your work in the lab is to get your body into alignment with that strength, whether it's through your diet, through working out, just getting into the body and bringing yourself back into balance. I feel like whatever you guys are separating from, it's for your highest good, and it's to help you get into union with yourself, and then in order to be in a better union with others. And like I said before, your energy is very, very precious and very, very powerful, and you guys have some extremely potent energy in the lab right now. And whatever this painful situation is, you guys definitely have all of the tools it takes to get through it. I'm actually going to pull some tarot as well, just to get a little bit more clarification. I'm going to be using the Pulp Tarot. I'm getting a very strong energy that whatever prompted the separation kind of felt like a betrayal. Something that may have made you extremely angry and nervous and just really knocked you out of balance. Excuse me. So, first card out is the Fool. Yeah, so I see that you guys are definitely on your way to a brand new beginning. You're starting from scratch, which is beautiful. There is something very beautiful about having a blank slate and having the power to carve out the new you. Wow, Lovers. Yeah, so I love this card because it talks about, you know, the story of Adam and Eve and how they were gifted a life of abundance in the Garden of Eden, so as long as they didn't bite the fruit of temptation or the fruit of knowledge. But as we all know, they did eat the fruit, and thus were no longer able to be in union in the abundant way that they were meant to. But they were then sentenced to a life of hard work, and we're no longer able to just receive the fruits. We now have to work very hard to get the fruits. So I definitely feel like you guys are dealing with a situation where, you know, there was a partnership, some sort of partnership that was going really great and felt destined, but some choice was made that made things a lot harder. And now you guys have a choice. Well, regardless of the choice that has been made, now you guys have to move forward. You know, whether that be, you know, slowly and through hard work, as we said with the dull blade, or by yourself and quickly with tools within you that are more efficient in moving forward. Ooh, Five of Cups. Yeah, so this card really hits the nail on the head with the painful energy that you guys may be experiencing right now. But, you know, if you look at this card, this is the card of crying over spilled milk. It's the card of looking at the cup half empty. It's a call to not cry about the cups that are spilled, but to look at what you still have, which is all you really need at the end. I'm gonna get a goddess guidance card for you guys as well. So when we're looking at the work in our alchemical lab, while you know we have these physical elements, we also have spiritual elements around us that we can tap into. So I'm gonna get one of these, and if you want, you can look at the goddess that comes out for you. This is also a tool to use in your lab at this time. Alrighty, so you guys got the Butterfly Maiden. This is a very, very beautiful and inspiring card. So, you know, with this separation will come transformation. It says you're experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. So, yeah, as you go through the work, as you're in your lab, look at the end goal of this. Look at your transformation of who you want to be when you come out of the lab. Really take your time. Get into the body. You know, use some color. So the changes that you're going through at the moment might seem painful. They might seem like a really big disappointment, but they are serving your highest good at the moment. And you can't let this situation break you. You have to let it make you. This is part of your origin story. I'm going to get one more oracle card for you guys. I'm going to get a message from the angels. Just to leave you guys on a positive note, because I know you need it. Alrighty, so you guys have Yvonne. You have a special bond with animals. Your pets on earth and in heaven are watched over by angels. So if you guys have pets, your angels want you to know that they are with you and supporting you at this time. If you don't have pets, maybe find an opportunity to be close to animals, whether that's visiting them at a pet shop or a shelter, or with friends that maybe have pets. I'm going to get you guys some final messages from the book. So, as you go through this period of change, it's natural for you to wonder if your future is safe. I'm here to assure you that you're part of nature's cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. To bring in your desired newness, you must first allow old parts of your life to fall away. These changes are to be celebrated, not feared. Give thanks for this shedding of the old. Embrace all the lessons it brought and then let it go. Be giddy with excitement at the newness of the gifts that are now being bestowed upon you, and let their magic surprise and delight you. Don't be concerned about endings, they're bringing in the new for you. Your prayers have been answered with this change. Let go of the old. Don't worry about these changes. They're truly for the best. Well, talk about synchronicity. So, that was a very heavy, deep message, but I know you guys got this. You guys have your work cut out for you, but your inner strength is what will pull you through. But don't be afraid to look for support through friends and animals to guide you through, and remember to just keep your eye on the prize, which is you. Thank you guys so much for joining the reading. I hope this was helpful, I hope it was insightful, and I hope to see you guys again. Bye! Hi Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So I've already laid out your cards. Today we're going to be looking at what you're working with in your alchemical lab at this moment. So we're going to be looking at 3 different elements of alchemy along with a crystal card just to signify your energy at this time. And you know, with alchemy, it's all about the process of transmutation. What do we have that we can transmute into gold? And metaphorically speaking, it's what are we working with on a soul, spiritual, emotional level that might be challenging, that we might not know exactly how all the pieces go together, but we know what the goal is, what the end goal is, and we're going to look at how we can incorporate all of the different elements in order to get to that goal. So for your crystal card, you guys got the carnelian. Another important element of alchemy is really looking at the colors. If you're into the chakra system, I would highly recommend keeping that in mind as well. So with the orange and a little bit of yellow, we have sacral and solar plexus chakra energy here. So already I'm getting very fiery energy. So you could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sag, but it doesn't have to be. So, what it is, carnelian is a cherry red chalcedony used by ancient Romans in signet rings because wax doesn't stick to it, and by modern folk to ward off insecurities. Carnelian's fiery energy helps us spin out of fearful thought cycles and into action. Who needs it? The understimulated. Anybody looking to get acquainted with their fears. We have some beautiful work to do together. Where to put it? When you want to inject some passion and confidence, when to use it, when you find your creativity or sex drive on sleep mode. And I just realized, sorry, I put the cards in the wrong position. So this is card 1, this is 2, and this is 3. I'm going to be doing what's called a tria prima reading. So basically in alchemy, we look at the 3 core elements that make up everything in the work. So I'm using the guidebook, but basically here the tria prima reading basically asks us to look at what are the initial 3 elements, the 3 gifts of the goddesses that we're working with in our lab. So for the first gift, this is the gift of origin. This is kind of like the base in the lab, the base element that we're working with. And we have the new pearl. For the second gift, this is the gift of the antidote. So, you know, as with all antidotes, let's say we're working with antidote for poison. we have to put a little bit of that poison. We have to use that poison in order to make the antidote. So this is the make or break card in the lab. This is the element that must be tempered, otherwise the experiment can go awry. And lastly, we have the third card. So this is the gift of sustenance. So this is the winter card. And this is what is, I guess, pushing the work along and keeping it going. So yeah, already, you know, with the carnelian card, I forgot to read this, but it says, go with your gut. We can already see there's some synchronicity here between the stone you guys got and the gift of the antidote. So there's kind of contrasting energies here. So on one hand, we have very passionate, very fiery energy here over here with the red and the orange and the yellow. We have the symbol, the astrological symbol of Mars. We have some gold, the triangle, which is a symbol of fire and alchemy, some lightning in the background, which represents that passion, that drive, that powerful, immovable, hot force. And then we see the fist here. This fist who we commonly see in social justice movements. So yeah, very strong energy here. And then on the other hand, we have two cards that are very much black in the background. Black can kind of symbolize the void. It can symbolize the source in which we all came from. Almost like a resting place, like a birthing place. And so on the new pearl card here, we have an upside down triangle. So that is the opposite of the upright triangle in alchemy, where this one here symbolizes fire, passion, drive. The upside down triangle represents the more feminine, calm, receptive element of water. And as we know, pearls come from oysters, which come from water. And then here we can see a tree that, you know, could be mistaken as a dead tree. As we know, though, during winter, the plants are not necessarily dead just because they look like it. Usually there's something going on beneath the surface. You know, with the white and the blue, we kind of think of snow and ice. And again, we see the upside down triangle, which represents the element of water. So, you know, water represents life. And during winter, that life seems to go underground and is preserved, it's protected by the ice, while, you know, it's protected by the ice because of, you know, the conditions that are going on in the atmosphere. It's too cold and has the potential to kill the life, so it must go underground for protection. And then this symbol right here kind of looks like a North Star, and the North Star is kind of a symbol of hope. It's a symbol of a remembrance from where we came from and where we're going. Wow, so very interesting elements here. So for your element of origin, the new pearl is all about grit. It's about irritation. It's about waiting, as mentioned in the book. And I'm actually going to show you guys the page, the description from the book, just because I think it will be helpful. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll put it up so you guys can take a screenshot, because I do believe it provides a lot of context for the reading. So feel free to screenshot that. But basically, what we have here for your origin story, what you're working towards in the lab, is the formation of this pearl. And pearls come about through sand. They start with a single grain of sand that enters the oyster, and through the irritation, the oyster coats the sand over and over and over and over. It's a very consistent, drawn out process, but you know, at the end we get this beautiful pearl that then has value compared to the grain of sand it once was. It can now be set in gold. It can be used as jewelry. So it looks like whatever you guys are experiencing right now, the work is to get the grain of sand into this pearl. So for the antidote of this process, we have the Mars card. And, you know, with the winter and the Mars here, I'm seeing that in order for this process to happen, we have to temper this Mars energy. If we have too much of this fire, it can melt away everything in the lab, and the process will have to start over from the beginning, this long process that we're working on. So we really need to temper this. We need just enough fire. I'm getting like, you know, a little flame with the candle. We need to temper this fire in a way that it keeps us going, it keeps us warm, and it helps us to take a step by step in order to complete this process. I'm going to show you guys the page for that card as well. So this is the Mars page. So I'm getting a very clear message of patience for you guys. Patience and determination in the face of irritation. So right now in the lab, I feel like you guys may be dealing with a little bit of impatience, either from yourself or pressure from others, but you're really being asked to tone it down a little bit and kind of just appreciate the process. Trust the process. You know, winter is not always easy. It's not an easy season to work with. It can feel barren. It can look like nothing's happening, even though there is a lot happening under the surface. There are seeds planted under the surface. It's just not time yet for them to bloom, because if they were to bloom during this time, they would probably die due to the conditions that are going on outside. Like if you look at the backgrounds of all three of these cards, it doesn't look like a very fertile environment for the pearl to emerge. It's not a fertile environment for an oyster to survive and be protected. And imagine an oyster underneath frozen ground with fire and lightning outside. It's just not a good balance. But again, you have the power to temper the fire and the action and the movement that is made. So let me get the winter page out for you guys as well. So this card is about activity within dormancy, pausing. It's about the work happening within. So I'm just trying to get a visual image of your lab, and I'm picturing somebody making an ice sculpture, like a really big ice sculpture, but starting off with just a big block of ice, and recognizing that the heat must be used very, very strategically in order to create the sculpture in the ice. Too little heat and it'll take forever to complete the sculpture, and it'll just start to disintegrate altogether. But too much heat will it'll make you lose momentum, because now you won't have enough ice to work with. So you may have to get an entirely new ice block, because let's say a portion of the sculpture you were making needed a certain amount of ice in order to, look right. So this is a very tricky set of elements that you're working with. You have water, ice, and fire. Very conflicting elements that you're working with in the lab. But again, like I said, this is a very clear message of having patience, having that grit, trusting the process. I'm going to get some tarot now from the Pulp Tarot deck, just to get a little bit more context. Alrighty, so we have Three of Swords. Ooh. So already with this card, I'm thinking of this new Pearl card and the Mars. So there may have been a painful situation that prompted the work, and I'm seeing these swords as the grains of salt, the irritation in the oyster that you're being asked to endure. And I'm seeing somebody slowly pull these knives out of the heart. So that may be what your work is at this time. That may be what you're transmuting, is this heartbreak and this pain into a healed heart, into a heart of gold that's open, it's unrestricted, it's unburdened by these past wounds that you've experienced. And also temporary the anger you may feel as a result of this betrayal or this pain, and not letting it break you completely, not fighting. Ooh, wow. The Lovers. So I'm laughing because this card came out in pile 1 in the exact same position. So the Lovers card, this is a major arcana in the tarot. It's a trump card, meaning it carries a little bit more significance than the minor arcana. So this card talks about the story of Adam and Eve and temptation choices made. So you guys may have experienced some painful betrayal or heartbreak from a relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could have been a friendship or workplace or family. But I'm seeing that a choice was made, and now the work must be done. So in the story, they weren't supposed to eat the fruit of knowledge, and because they did, instead of living in an abundant garden, they had to now reap what they sowed. So they had to work for any gain that was to be made going forward. And it can be a sad story, but also it can be looked at as a story of triumph. So we see the mountain here in the background, and tarot mountains kind of symbolize difficult obstacles that we must overcome. And if we look at that story and where humanity is today, obviously these people were able to overcome difficulties and not only survive but thrive through it. And now if we look at the planet, it's very lush, it's very rich with lots of vegetation, lots of fruits and flowers and trees. So there is a beautiful thing that can come out of this process. Finally, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So again, you guys are getting a message of focusing on the gold, focusing on the abundance that can come out of this hard work. We can see she's standing in front of 9 golden plaques, suggesting that she put the work into her craft and has received the merit for it. There's a portrait in the back of grapes, which again symbolize abundance of the material world. And there's even a gold statue in the back, which kind of looks like an eagle or an owl, but regardless, the bird kind of symbolizes having that bird's eye view, keeping your eye on the bigger picture, keeping your eye on the prize as you do the work. Although it's going to require patience, the pentacles in the tarot represent the material world. It's things that we have to work and wait to get. They don't come easily or instantly, but in the end, it's worth it. So I'm kind of seeing a story here as well. With this card, we see the blue in the background, the dark blue and the cloudy backdrop kind of mirrored here in these cards. So it looks like the work is moving from a darker, somber place, and it's warming up as the work is getting done. As we're climbing that mountain, we're getting to the gold, the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm going to get you guys a goddess oracle card as well. So not only do we have these material elements that we're working with in the lab, but there's also external influences such as the seasons, the planets, and also spiritual resources such as our spirit guides. So I'm going to get you guys a goddess card. You can look up this goddess as well to learn more about her, how you can honor her if you'd like to tap into the energy and the embodiment, the power of this goddess. Kind of incorporate her into the work and to push you along. Alrighty. Oh, so you guys have siege, quiet time. Wow. Synchronicity. So, wow. Doesn't she just look like she could fit perfectly with this card? So right now, as you guys are in your lab, you're really being asked to go within, to go underground, to look inward, to spend that quiet time alone, to rest, meditate, contemplate your next steps as you're transmuting the sand into gold. I'm going to get you guys some messages from the book as well, so you can take a picture of it. So again, this is definitely a call to temper this Mars energy with rest. If we keep pushing forward in the work without resting, without taking time to reflect, we will rush the process, or we'll be so burned out that we can't continue the process, slowing down the momentum. Hearing baby steps. Finally, I'm going to get you guys an angel card as well. Just like the goddess card, you guys can look up this angel to get more messages. So you guys have Oceana. Take action. You're in touch with your truth in the situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. So this message definitely complements the overall message in your reading. So again, this is about temperance of the Mars energy. Asserting yourself is not the same as fighting, and we can do so in a loving way that not only protects ourselves, but protects others from hurt. You know in your gut what you need to do, what steps to take, when to rest, and when to push forward. So please just trust your gut, trust yourself, trust the process, slow down when necessary, and push forward when you feel like it's right. And at the end, you will reach this goal. You will transmute this painful, irritating situation, this process, into something beautiful, loving, free, light, and you will feel a sense of accomplishment at the end. So I'm going to leave you guys reading there. I hope it was helpful for you. Please let me know in the comments what you're transmuting at this time. Let me know what resonated, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you and bye. Hi Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So I've already laid out your cards. I'm going to read them out to you in just a moment, but first I want to explain a little bit more about the alchemical process and the purpose of it, which is basically to turn lead into gold. And today the lead is represented by your 3 alchemical materials that I've laid out here. And the gold is whatever you wish to be whatever you wish to be the highest outcome of the work, of the process. So, with that being said, let me get into your cards. So, you guys picked this group, which has the howlite crystal, Already I can kind of see a theme in your cards with the colors of white and blue and gray. And oh my gosh, I did this in pile 2 as well, but I accidentally put the cards in the wrong position, so that is actually the correct position. So you guys have the Howlite card, so I'm going to read this to you guys just to provide a little bit more context. So it says, Howlite, also known as white turquoise, is all about reveling in simplicity. Often the real power exists in what's left out. See Japanese aesthetics, Swedish interiors. Howlite's dreamy, slate cleaning energy helps you discern exactly what you don't need, so you can train your focus on exactly what you do. Who needs it? Overstimulated minimalists, living in a maximalist world. Where to put it? Wherever you need some breathing room. When to use it? When you need a break from the never-ending onslaught of DMs, meeting requests, and trending stories. Less is more, none is most. Howlite can help. Organize your headspace. And then with the 3 alchemy cards, this is a Tria Prima spread. So one of the core tenets of alchemy is that there are 3 core elements that make up everything in the work. So today we're going to look at the gifts of the 3 goddesses. So imagine you're in your lab and 3 goddesses arrive, each with their own gift. So first we have the gift of origin. This is the cause or the creative elements that prompted the work. Next, we have the second gift, which is the gift of the antidote. So, when we think of antidotes for, let's say, a poison, we need that poison in order to make the antidote. So this element is in the lab is something that can make or break the process. So it can either be a destructive force or it can be used to prevent destruction in the lab. And finally, we have the third card, which is the gift of sustenance. So this is the gift that carries on the energy during the work. It's the energy that will sustain the process and get you to the end of it. So with the white and the black, those colors symbolize 2 contrasting elements at play in your lab right now. So the first gift, we have rotation. The second gift, we have the sap of the moon plant. And the third gift, we have mortification. So, with the rotation card, we can clearly see a spider weaving a web. So I'm getting this is about creation. There's something that you're building. There's a web that you're making. There's a foundation that is currently being laid. And if we think about a spider's web, it is something that is very simple yet complex, and something that requires diligence, focus, and precision. And then if we look at this card, the third gift, mortification, we see similar elements here, but I think the contrasting elements that are sticking out to me is the process of creation and destruction, life and death. As mentioned in the Howlite card, I feel like part of what you guys are transmuting in your lab right now is learning what must be destroyed, what must be broken down into fertile new soil in order to progress the process of creation. It's hard to, let's say we're a farmer and we're planting new crops. We can't plant new crops if the land is full of crops already. Something must die, something must end in order to have room for something new to come about. I see that you guys are being asked to bring more color into the lab. There's a lot of darkness at this time. There's a lot of scattered light. And with the second gift, so the top of the moon plant, we can see the dark blue color. We can see the moon hidden in the rose. We can see the stars and space in the background. This card is all about the unconscious, the divine feminine. It's really about resting and tapping into our dreams, tapping into the mother tongue of humanity, which are the dreams, the subconscious, the symbols. So I feel like just the fact that you guys have came to this reading shows that you are diving into this realm. But I'm seeing with this being the gift of the antidote, we can't, I want to say, dive too deeply into this realm, as there is work to be done. There is a web to be woven. So right now in the work, you're being asked to rest and pay attention to your dreams and use this color, use these dreams, use these visions as the fuel to your creation, and not to get lost in the dreams themselves. We have to bring them to a practical level. We have to bring them to life. So, this card looks a little scary. It does remind us of death. And we have to look at the transformative powers that come with death and loss. We have to look at what comes right after, which is birth, creation, a new beginning, and a shedding, a letting go of what doesn't serve the work at this time. Sometimes there are certain dreams that no longer serve us. There are certain aspirations that we must let go of in pursuit of higher aspirations, dreams that will actually fulfill us. I'm not saying give up on your dreams. I'm saying the opposite, which is to actually tap more into your own personal dreams, not the dreams of others or what you think should be your dream, but your true dream. Alrighty, so now that we have an idea of the basic elements that you're working with in the lab right now, I want to get some tarot just to provide a little bit more context using the Pulp Tarot. Ooh, beautiful. So straight out the gate, we have the Star card. So right now your work is really to tap into your star energy. The star card is ruled by the sign Aquarius, and the Aquarius rules the 11th house in astrology, which is all about our broader community, our hopes, our dreams, our aspirations. That is what your work is all about at this moment. Next we have the Ace of Wands. So wands in the tarot are about the spirit. It's about inspiration from the spirit. And aces are about new beginnings. So with this, through your dreams, you will find that inspiration, that spark that drives the process forward. And you need to capitalize on this energy when it hits you. Alrighty. And then finally we have the Five of Swords. So give me just a moment to tap into what this card is telling us here. So this card kind of tells us a story of selfishness. It's a card of winning at all costs, at the expense of others. It's a card about stealing ideas. And it's also called winning ugly. So this is an energy, it's coming up over the antidote card, the card that can destroy us. So when we build our dreams on a false foundation of what other people expect of us, other people's ideas, in the end, even if we win, we lose because we were not being true to our heart and ourselves and what we believe is right and meant for us. So again, this is a call to get in touch with your subconscious, get in touch with your desires, your dreams, and your own wishes, and not sacrifice your values or morals in attainment of those dreams. Alrighty, so next I'm going to get you guys a goddess oracle oracle card. So, while we have these physical material elements in our alchemical lab, there's also spiritual elements at play and spiritual guides in the lab with us, giving us guidance and protection along the way. So we're going to see what goddess is with you in the lab at the moment. So we have Mother Mary. Expect a miracle. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. So a message I'm getting from this card is to set an intention before you go to sleep. Ask your guides and the goddess Mother Mary to reveal your dreams to you before you go to sleep. And expect a miracle when it comes to the work, and expect a miracle when it comes to fulfilling your dreams. Don't get too bogged down of the details of your dream and how to fulfill them. Have that hope. Look at these stars around her crown. Have that hope and that trust that it will happen, even if it seems impossible. If we think about the story of Mother Mary, she was, as we all know, most of us know, she was a virgin who had a baby, and she is the epitome of the impossible happening. So have faith that your dreams will come true. So finally, I'm going to get you guys an angel oracle card as well, to leave it on a positive note. So we have Akasha. So it says, look at that beautiful blue energy again of the dream space, of the dream realm. So it says, you are a spiritual teacher and you have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life mission. So the angel Akasha is named after the Akashic records, which are believed by spiritualists to hold all of the records of existence. So that might be something that, a concept that you guys want to look into. I believe there are guided meditations you can find on YouTube that walk you through the Akashic library. But yeah, I feel like as you guys pursue your own dreams and have them revealed to you through meditation, you can then help others to discover their dreams. You guys are going to serve as a beacon of light in inspiring others to follow, pursue, and achieve their dreams as well. Well, so this was a very, very beautiful reading. I'm so sorry. I just remembered that I showed the other piles their alchemical elements in the book. So I'm going to do that for you guys as well, so you can take a photo if you'd like. I believe it'll provide a lot more context and help you guys out. So this is the first gift rotation. Second gift, sap of the moon plant. Again, feel free to take a photo. And then mortification. Thank you guys again for joining me for this reading. Let me know in the comments, how are these elements at play in your life? What kind of dreams are you having? Do you guys have a dream journal? Have you been paying attention to your dreams? What are you doing to weave the dreams? What are you releasing in order to fulfill these dreams? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you and bye.